Honestly, this was way more fun than I remember it being. Oh my goodness, that was a wild ending to this book. Hello friends, welcome to another vlog. So it is Friday evening and I'm starting another little weekend vlog. I don't know what that accent is. I'm sorry, I'll stop. It's 7:10 on Friday, the 26th of January. I don't know why I'm giving you all these very specific details, but I'm not okay because I just finished Ruin of Kings. Oh my gosh, this book was perfection. Like, the characters, the world building, the everything, the magic system, like, wow. I think this is the best first book in a series I have ever read. And I say that having read many series in my life. Like, do you see all those tabs? I have not tabbed a book this much since I read A Day of Fallen Night, which granted was like in December, but like still, that is a lot of freaking tabs. And I'm obsessed with this book, and it was so fun chatting with everyone in the Discord about this book. We are all just screaming and like kicking our heels over this book. So if you haven't read Ruin of Kings, what the heck are you doing? Go pick this up. It's so good. It's so good. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna need to read book 2 real soon. Thankfully, I think we're all planning on reading it in February. I'm definitely planning on reading it like late February. Not because I don't want to read it. Like, I'm itching to read it. Like, the whole series is sitting. Can you even see them? They're kind of up there. Yeah, the whole series is up there. Itching to read them. But I have this weird thing where I can't read the sequel to a book immediately after reading like the first book or whatever. I can't do it. Like, I have never been able to do that in all my years of reading, and I don't know why. Like, I am not a series binger. Like, I can read a book and then I need a palate cleanser and then I can return to the series. But I do have to read quite a few other things before I can get to the name of all things, which is fine because I'm excited about all the things. So let me introduce you to the 2 books that I hope to read over the weekend. I really think I could actually start and finish both of these this weekend. It's supposed to be 50 below this weekend, Fahrenheit. Like, that's ridiculous. No, thank you. So obviously not going anywhere. I am staying in this house and embracing rock girl era. I guess that's a thing. Like, it's so weird. Like, I don't know why. Like, last year was like all about like hot girl era, and now I'm totally embracing rock girl era. I'm here for that one. That one sounds way better to me. But I'm gonna embrace that this weekend because it's too cold to do anything, which I wouldn't be going outside anyway. But anyways, I'm gonna read these 2 books. So these are both library books, and I checked them out because people in the Discord have been ranting and raving about these books, either hating one of them and loving the other one, and we'll talk about it. So the first one I have is Natural Beauty. Everyone's been really enjoying this one, and I did also check out the audiobook for this one as well. I thought I could do a little mixed hybrid reading where I can listen to the audiobook and follow along physically, but I also plan on mostly listening to the audiobook for this one as I do some chores tomorrow. But I don't know too much about this one, but I know it was part of the Goodreads Choice Awards for 2023, but it says it's a sly, surprising, and razor-sharp book. It follows the young musician into an elite, beauty-obsessed world where perfection comes at a staggering cost. So it sounded interesting, and I'm in my no book buying era at the moment as well, so decided to pick this one up from the library and looking forward to checking it out. So I should be able to start and finish it this weekend because it is really short. And then the other library book I got, I can't tell if people in the Discord like this book. I kind of think they don't, but that's why I got it from the library. And I also have the audiobook for this one as well, and that is Milk Fed. So it says it's a scathingly funny, wildly erotic, and fiercely imaginative story about food, sex, and God from the acclaimed author of The Pisces and So Sad Today. So I really don't know what to expect with this one. Like I said, I do have the audiobook for this one as well. So I do plan on listening to both of these, if not entirely listening to them both, at least having the option to listen to them if I want, you know? So these are my reading plans for the weekend, and I'm looking forward to it. I do need to start Elantris as well because the live show is next weekend, and guess who hasn't started it at all? Yeah, so I really need to read that. And I'm hoping it's a quick time. I did get the audiobook on Libro because I had a credit, and I did the calculations because I'm very strategically using my Libro FM credits so I can get all the audiobooks for all of Robin Hobb's books and all of the Stormlight Archive audiobooks. But I'm doing it very strategically, and it's complicated, but my little brain gets it. I won't try to explain it. So I was like, I can spare a credit for this book. So, got the audiobook for Elantris. It's not the greatest. It is not a good audiobook. It's really not good, but I need the audiobook to help me get through it. So, I need to read like 80 pages a day starting tomorrow to get that book done. So, yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to reading it. Just people in the Discord have not been loving it. So, I'm a little nervous to read it. But yeah, I'm just like out of breath because I've been like hyperventilating over the Ruin of Kings for the past like hour. But wow, the book was so good. So yeah, I think it's time for dinner. Gonna have pizza. I'm excited, and I will start one of these books tonight. I don't know which one. I need to see which library book is due back the soonest. I think it's Milk Fed, so I might start that one tonight. It doesn't really matter. They're both due around the same time, and we'll get started on this little bookish weekend. So I just have my normal chores tomorrow, just cleaning up around the house and taking the trash out and doing laundry, things like that. So it really shouldn't be too long of chores. Like I should be able to get those done pretty quickly. And then I really truly just want to like read, do puzzle. I got my puzzle keeper the other day. That thing's amazing. So it's actually a puzzle table that you put on your table. Incredible. I'll try to show y'all later if I work on my puzzle. And then I need to refill the bird feeders because they are empty and those poor critters are just freezing to death outside. So need to refill those, and yeah, really just staying in, getting a few chores done and reading a bunch and doing this little vloggy vlog. I do need to do some booktube things. I would like to film my February want to read, and I thought there was another video I needed to film. I do need to film a book haul because I keep a list of books that I haven't included in a book haul yet, and that list is quite long. So I do need to film that. And those are all books from like the end of 2023. So maybe I'll film those 2 videos over the weekend, and then otherwise just be reading and watching TV. That's the plan. And then I want to watch the next episode in The Traitors. Obsessed with that show. It's so good. It's on Peacock. Highly recommend. It's great. So yeah, I should stop talking now because my battery's flashing, and I will chat with you all later. Happy Saturday. I am freezing cold. For the first time, I think, in my life, it is actually -40 at my house. And the reason why that's so crazy is that I live on a hill, so typically the hills are a lot warmer than down in the valley where town is. So that just means that town is literally -50 below today. There's usually a 10-degree difference from my house than downtown, and that's just insane. It is so cold. The boiler has been running all day practically. I feel bad for it. It's just working overtime to keep this old house warm, but I am just freezing. Like, I'm just so cold. Like, it's 70 in here, but you know, it's just cold, you know? So just wanted to pop on here and give y'all an update. I did get a ton of chores done. I spent like 3 hours this morning cleaning, putting things away, and just doing some general house things that I have kept neglecting. One of those things was replacing some of the batteries in my security system things. I don't know why. I keep like expecting somebody else to do it, but like I'm by myself, so no one else is gonna do it, you know? So I'm like, you know what, just do it. So I grabbed the ladder and went and replaced some of the batteries. It was not a big deal. I was just procrastinating for way too long, but got those replaced, and then I'm finally ready to read for the rest of the day. It's like 12:30. I had lunch, as you saw. It was amazing, and want to give y'all a reading update. So last night I started and then DNF'd Milk Fed. The content of this book was just affecting me quite a bit. This book deals a lot with calorie counting and food intake and all of that, and it was just making me feel very uncomfortable personally, because I have been down that route and it was a terrible time for me, and just reading about it was just affecting me quite negatively last night. And I'm like, you know, I'm not in a good space mentally to read this book. Like, I feel fine, but like I am not of the headspace to read about really bad body image, because I really don't want to read that right now. So I DNF'd this, and I didn't really feel bad doing so because it's a library book. But I did start Natural Beauty instead, and I'm enjoying this one a lot more. I really like our main character. I think it's a really interesting story exploring the beauty industry and society, and there is talk of body image and stuff, but it's portrayed in a way that is easier for me to read other than Milk Fed. Milk Fed was just, I don't know. It was just taking me down a bad route, and I didn't want to read it. So I'm really enjoying this one. I think I'm about halfway through it right now, and it's just wild. It's reminding me a lot of Rouge, which I had DNF'd last year, but I read a little bit of, and that little bit that I read is reminding me a lot of Natural Beauty. So in this book, we follow our main character who is looking for a better paying job. She's really scraping by, and her parents are not doing very well. She was like a really famous, maybe not famous, but she's a very, very good pianist, and her parents are not doing very well, so she really needs a better paying job to be able to take care of them better. So she gets offered this job at this place called Holistic, which basically, I kind of am thinking of it like an Ulta beauty store, although it's very different in a way. So it's like a beauty store where people can buy products, but they also change their employees to make them like perfect. So the employees have all these perks of what the beauty place offers their clients. So it is like required that you go through these things and like get your lashes as long as possible and change your face and go through all these like procedures almost. They're not like surgical, it's just like different weird things, like submerging yourself in like a bath of like mulch with worms and other things, and it's just really weird. But it's really interesting at the same time, and I'm liking it. I don't really know what else to say. And what's also creepy is that we're finding out that a lot of the employees working at Holistic have completely changed their ethnicities. So a lot of them are white passing, but are actually originally from other countries and would look very different if they hadn't gone through all the procedures that they had done at Holistic. It's very, very interesting, and I think it's a very interesting yet creepy look into the beauty industry and how we have to like look perfect. And I also saw a video the other day that was really interesting that kind of reminds me of this, that people who are like my age or closer to their 30s are so scared of aging. Like there's all this like anti-aging, like get rid of wrinkles and avoid this and avoid that. It's like aging is a privilege. Like I don't know why my generation is so scared of getting older and so scared of having lines on your face. Like that tells me that you have lived life to the fullest, and it's just crazy. Like I have nothing against people who do get Botox for any reason whatsoever, but I do think that like people don't need it. Like we don't need any of that. But Anyways, so this book was really interesting, having a good time. So I think I'm ready now to settle in and read Elantris for a little bit. I will be starting this today. I need to get up to page 83 and read about 80 pages a day to get this book done before the live show next week. I'm really hoping I can do that because I want to watch the live show and I want to participate with the Brandy Sandy along, but I gotta read the books to do that. So this is the only book I have to read for Brandy Sandy long until like July, I think, because I'm not going to reread the Mistborn eras. I just feel like I just read them somewhat recently, so I really don't feel like rereading them, but I will attend the live shows. I think that'll be fun, but I don't really feel like rereading them right now, so I do gotta read this. So gonna start this now. I have my computer on. There's some sprints starting and I think in like an hour and a half or so that'll be fun, but otherwise just gonna sit at my desk and read for a bit. I've been finding that if I read on the couch or on my futon for too long, I start to get really sleepy and I end up taking a nap for like 3 hours. So trying to like put myself in a spot where I can't nap, like I'm not gonna fall asleep at my desk. So I really want to read, but like I just end up falling asleep and it's really annoying. So I'm gonna get some reading done and I will chat with you all later. Hello friends, happy Sunday. I don't know why I look so red in this clip. I swear it's the lamp. It just makes everything look weird. But it's been a very productive day. I got lots of things done and the one thing I didn't really do much of is read, but I did finish Natural Beauty today. I was not expecting that ending. Oh my goodness, that was a wild ending to this book. I quite enjoyed this book. I think it explored some really interesting topics and I quite enjoyed its commentary on society and beauty, and it used like body horror to like talk about that kind of stuff. So really enjoyed this. I ended up giving it a 4-star rating. Would definitely recommend. It was wild. I was just not expecting that at all. So I finished listening to this today while I did a diamond painting and some other little things, which was nice. So I also have started Elantris, which I'm currently 88 pages into. I'm really trying to stick to my 80 pages a day schedule for this book. I was successful yesterday, but I still need to get up to page 163 today, so a decent chunk I still need to read. But I'm liking this so far. I'm not loving it, I'm not hating it, so I don't really have any thoughts on it, to be honest. I'm just kind of flowing along with the story. It is pretty interesting. Like, I never knew that Brando Sando could make zombies interesting. So sorry, my camera died and I don't feel like grabbing the other battery because like I just did a workout, so I'm quite exhausted and I just don't have the energy to go do that. But like I was saying, Elantris, I was not expecting this book to be about zombies, but Brando Sando's making it pretty interesting. So I really need to catch up for today's section that I need to get read, but I am enjoying it so far. It's been a pretty good read, but hopefully it gets more interesting. Like, I don't know, it's just very political and a lot of talk about religion, which I do see kind of as a theme in his books because I feel like Mistborn talks a lot about that as well. But I don't know, it's okay so far, but the audiobook is definitely helping me get through it. So it's not a good audiobook by any means, but it's helping me get through it a little bit faster. So my plan is to hopefully finish ACOTAR this upcoming week and get that book wrapped up before the end of the month so I can have that done, so I can maybe go back and watch the live show for that book. And then I really want to focus on Elantris, get that done this week before the live show this weekend. So that's the plan. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this vlog today because I feel like I really didn't vlog that much. So I'm gonna take a look at the footage and see what it looks like, but I may continue this for a little bit longer. I may not vlog during the week, like I might just pick up this vlog next weekend and tell y'all my final thoughts on Elantris and anything else that I may start or whatever. So I don't know, we'll see. I'll take a look at the footage and I will let y'all know. Hello. So it is whatever day today is, Tuesday, and I think I have decided to extend this vlog. I haven't looked at the footage, but I feel like this vlog was really short and I didn't read a whole lot in it, so I'm gonna continue it this week and maybe a little bit into next weekend and go from there. So I'm currently reading two things. So I'm just about to finish ACOTAR. I am like on chapter 40, so almost done with this. And it's going actually pretty good. I'm surprised how much I'm liking this book for not having liked it the first time I read it. So I read this book in 2018, and 2018 was when I really started reading a ton and started documenting my reading on Goodreads. And at the time, I was pretty critical of the books that I was reading because I was just about to graduate high school, because I graduated high school in 2019. So I was still in high school and I was in AP Lit. So I just felt like I was very critical of books, and I was just in that mindset to be critical. So I was really critical. Like, my review is so long. I'm probably gonna delete my review for this book because it's so long. It's like, girl, jeez. So yeah, I just tore this book apart in my review. I gave it 3 stars though, which is weird. But 2024 me is a completely different reader. Like, I can read kind of trashy fantasy romance, which I'd kind of classify this as, no offense to anybody. Like, I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm kind of thinking along the lines of like Zodiac Academy, the Fae Princess series, what is that called? The Vicious Boys, Vicious Lost Boys, stuff like that. Like, I have the best time reading that kind of stuff, and I feel like ACOTAR kind of fits into that category as well. And it's not a mean thing. Like, I enjoy that more now, and I feel like this is a good like palate cleanser kind of book for me because it's fun, it's light, I'm not taking it too seriously, and it doesn't take too much brain power to read. But I'm having a way better time reading this than I did 6 years ago. So having a great time, just have a tiny chunk left. I completely forgot like everything that happened in this book, so I'm glad I'm rereading it. Okay, I don't want any spoilers for anything. Like, do not be commenting anything about like Crescent City or anything that happens in ACOTAR. Like, I don't want to know. I want to find out myself, okay? But I do want to say, why do the girlies love Resand? Whatever the heck his name is, he's so insufferable in this book. Like, he's so annoying. I don't like him. Why do the girlies like him? So in my Discord chat, I'm like, I feel like Resand's either gonna get worse or he's gonna get better. And either way, the girlies are gonna love it. Like, the girlies do love a terrible male love interest. Ugh, I just hate that descriptor. Or they love like the cinnamon rolls. So I feel like it could go either way. And like, I fit in that category too. Like, I definitely love me a cinnamon roll love interest. But anyways, gonna be finishing this tonight, which is exciting because I have no clue how this book ends. I totally forgot. So I'm also reading Elantris by Brando Sando. I am nowhere near where I want to be in this book. I'm on chapter 14, page 183. I need to have this book done by February 3rd for the live show, which is happening at 9:30 my time. AM. Yeah, do you see how much book I have left? And today is the 30th. I ain't got much time to read this. So I'm really hoping to get this done before the live show, but I really don't think it's gonna happen. And then I also desperately need to start What the River Knows, which is my in-person book club pick, and our meeting is next Thursday. That really snuck up on me. So I really need to get that book read sooner rather than later, and the audiobook is like 16 hours long, so I really need to get started on that. So that's my reading plans. Finish ACOTAR tonight. Hopefully gets a chance to read more of this tonight as well. And then probably tomorrow I'll start What the River Knows. So yeah, I did also, I know this is gonna be terrible, but I know I said I was gonna mood read this year, okay? I know I said that in my Bookish Goals video, but I made a list on my Notion page for my reading tracker, and I went every single month from January to December of like all the read-alongs that I'm participating in, the Hob Sob read-along that I'm like hosting with me, myself, and I, for me, myself, and I, to read all of Robin Hobb's books that I haven't gotten to yet, and just some other buddy read books that I have agreed to read with my besties over in Discord. You guys, I have like packed every single month with buddy reads and books I want to read and series and read-alongs, and I'm like, so much for mood reading. But what's really exciting is that I'm only reading like a handful of books a month, because the Brandy Sandy long we are going to be getting to Stormlight. archive, which I'm scared about. But like, there isn't much that I'll be reading each month, which is really gonna give me a chance to just dive into these books and really just immerse myself. So I still think I'm following through. And I think I counted, I'd be finishing like 10 plus series this year if I kept up with that spreadsheet, which really doesn't matter if I do or don't. It's really just like, this is what my year could look like if I, you know, was consistent with keeping up with the books that I want to read. So that's kind of exciting. And all of it's fantasy, which is even more exciting. And it's all books I own, which is even better. And then what I was thinking is like, I could be physically reading all of these big chunky fantasy books and then have like romance books that are on my physical TBR, check them out from the library as audiobooks, and that could be like my audiobook palette cleanser, using the old smarts up here, you know? Genius. Anywho, I'm gonna listen to Akatar, play with the cats for a little bit, and then I do need to take a shower and get ready for bed because your girl is still going to work. But anyway, so later in February, I do want to mention real quick, later in February, we'll be taking a little trip, which is fun. So it's nowhere fancy. It's just to one of the bigger cities in Alaska, which is fun. The main purpose of the trip is to get a new battery for my phone because my battery has been saying that I need to get service for like a couple months now, and it only holds about like 74% charge. So yeah, it definitely needs a new battery, and I'm not willing to drop, you know, $1,000 on a new phone, but I'm more than willing to drop 80 bucks on a new battery. So I don't have an Apple store where I live, so we're gonna fly down to the big city down there and go to the Apple store and get a new battery for my phone. But while we're there, I think we're gonna go to Dave & Buster's, the local used bookstore, and eat at all the restaurants that we don't have here, and it's gonna be real fun. So that's happening like mid-February. I'll definitely try to vlog, but the point of the trip was that we were going to drive down together. My parents and I were going to drive down all together on Friday, and so that was the plan. Well, then I realized that I had agreed that I was going to cat sit for somebody, but I couldn't remember exactly when. So I texted her today, and it's exactly the time that we're going to be gone. It's from like a couple days before till like a couple days when we're going to be gone. I'm like, oh my gosh, how is this going to work? So I figured it out. So my parents are gonna drive down the day that we had planned, but then I'm gonna stay here and cat sit. And then on the Saturday that we'd be, you know, downtown goofing off and stuff, I'm gonna fly down by myself and meet them there. So the cats will have been taken care of. I will have fulfilled my cat sitting duties, but then I also get to go hang out with my parents. So kind of a wacky situation, but I'm also super nervous to fly by myself. I have never flown by myself before. I've always gone with my parents, but I figure, you know, I'm 23, gonna be 24 this year, which I don't even want to think about. But like, I should feel comfortable flying by myself because I would love to go solo tripping when I'm older. Like, I just want to travel the world so bad, so I really need to get comfortable with the idea of flying by myself. And it's a super short flight. It's an hour, not that big a deal at all. And the airport, my local airport, is so itty bitty tiny. Like, there's 2 gates. I mean, you can't really get lost. And then the airport that I'm flying into is not that big, but they've also renovated. So like, I don't know. I'm just banking on the fact that airports always have very good signage. So I'll just follow the signs. But yeah, so I decided to treat myself to first class because in this plane, there was one side of the plane where you can fly, like you're not sitting next to anybody in first class. And I'm like, I want that. Honestly, it was about the same price to fly first class than it was to ride coach. So it was a $20 difference. And I'm like, you know what? I will spend the extra money to fly first class with nobody sitting next to me. So that's really exciting. So yeah, I'm excited, but also really nervous, especially with all like the plane issues that have been going on recently with like Alaska Airlines and stuff. Like, I don't know, it just skyrockets my anxiety, but I think it'll be fine. It's a super short little trip, just a little hop skip. So yeah, I'm still really super nervous though, and will continue to be until it happens. But anyways, so I really should go, and I will chat with you all later on in the week when I have more updates, and Toodaloo. Hello, same spot, same outfit, different day. I promise it really is a different day. It is Wednesday, and look who's actually cooperating today. My bangs. I regretted these almost immediately. That's actually not true. I loved these bangs for like 2 days and then I hated them. But it's been a month, a little over a month. I don't know why this lamp is flickering. Do you mind? Anyways, so I cut these a little over a month ago now, and they have grown so much, which is amazing. So now I can finally wear them as like short curtain bang, which I think actually looks pretty cute. So this is how I wore them today. I actually quite like it. I think I'll like them even more when they're a bit longer, but at least I could finally wear them down because I was getting really tired of clipping them away all the time. But I'm really grateful that I only cut such a little amount of hair. Like, I didn't cut very deep, so grateful I did that at least. But I have many reading updates for you all, so let's get into it. First of all, I did finish ACOTAR last night, and I'm really shocked to say this, but I gave it a 4-star rating. I had such a fun time with this. Like, honestly, this was way more fun than I remember it being. But like I mentioned earlier in this vlog, I think past me was just so hypercritical of everything. And like current day me, like, I don't mind reading a book just for a good time. And that's exactly what this was. So really looking forward to reading book 2 because I've heard so many people say that they read book 2 like a standalone and only like love that one the most. So I'm interested to see about that. And then I did order the Crescent City series. I know. I'm really trying not to buy books, but I also did not like Crescent City, or whatever the first one is, House of Earth and Blood, whatever. I did not like that one when I first read it, but again, I was in my critical reading era and I'm really not into that anymore. Like, I am perfectly fine with reading a book just for funsies. So I did order the whole series because I'm gonna want the rest of the series. If I'm gonna buy one, I might as well buy the other 2. So I actually got House of Earth and Blood for $1 because I got it on Pango and I found a really good copy and I had quite a few monies on there. So I bought it on there, and then the other 2 I got on Barnes. So those should be coming in somewhat soon. And then for other reading updates, I have started What the River Knows, which is my in-person book club pick. It's going okay. It's just really slow and our main character is a little annoying, so not really sure where the plot's gonna go. There's a couple people in the Discord who's also reading this right now, and it's not looking too good the further it gets in, so a little nervous about that. But the audiobook's pretty good, so I'll just mosey my way on through that. That's kind of like my work audiobook, I'm calling it, because then I have my morning/chores audiobook, which I started today, which is Ashford Parker Doesn't Fail. So I did start this morning because I really needed something to listen to, and I wasn't sure if I could like just listen to What the River Knows without following along a little bit in the ebook. So I started this, having a great time. I adore this series, and I'm really trying to prioritize series, especially ones that I own. So I'm gonna try to get through this one, and then I'd like to read book 3 eventually. I think I have it on hold right now. So yeah, having a great time with this one. Not too many thoughts at the moment. So I am currently reading 3 books right now, which I would feel overwhelmed by, but I think the way that I'm reading them is really nice. So like, I have a chore audiobook, so I listen to this when I'm home doing chores, getting ready for work or whatever. And then I have my physical read, which is Elantris, which I read in the morning. I get up like an hour before I actually need to get ready for the day, so I have like an hour to read, and then I usually have about an hour at night to read, so this is what I'm reading during those times. And then I have my workbook, which is What the River Knows. So it's a really nice, like, you know, blend of things. But I didn't read any of Elantris last night because I was focusing on ACOTAR. So, of course, I'm falling desperately behind on what I need to read in this to be able to watch the live show on Sunday. I'm just starting to accept the fact I don't think I'm going to be able to watch the live show because I'm just not gonna get this done in time. But I'm liking it. It's fine, but I just started it way too late to be able to do that. So anyways, I need to pack my lunch, but I just wanted to pop on here, say hello. And yeah, it was such a cold day. It was 40 today. And what's actually cool about that temperature is that it is the same in both Celsius and Fahrenheit. So they're the same. I could say -40 and that applies to all the degrees, all of them. So yeah, it was real cold. I am just now starting to warm up my feet. Like, they were cold all day. And my office has the AC going. I do not know why. So I was freezing inside and outside. So glad it's nice and toasty in here because, ooh, I'm cold. So I'm gonna do my evening chores, maybe listen to more of Astrid Parker, but I don't know, I'm feeling a little sleepy, but we'll just see. I do want to do my hair in like some heatless curls, so I think I'll listen to my audiobook while I do that, do all my face things, and I'd like to be in bed sooner rather than later tonight so I could have more time to read Elantris and just chillax. So that's the plan. So I'll chat with you all later. Hello friends, it is actually now February. I kind of forgot I was doing this vlog. It is the 3rd of February and I'm closing out this vlog now, but wanted to give you all some reading updates because I have finished a book finally. So I think I started Elantris when I had last talked to you all. I have since finished it. We're doing a little coffee chat because drinking my coffee, let's talk about Elantris. Can I just like put this here? You can't see that. There we go. So I don't have to hold it and I could just hold my warm coffee. So I have finished Elantris since the last time we have spoke. I stayed up like super late last night getting it done because the live show for that was today. It actually just finished and I liked it. It was okay. I definitely think Brando Sando is not the best at writing romance personally because the romance in here was interesting. Not really. And then I also find some of his female characters are written kind of weird, or like how the men in the world perceive the female characters can be kind of weird, and how like some of the men in this book were so like, I'm just like so desirable, like I gotta like beat these women off, oh hello, with a stick, you know? It's just a little weird to me, you know? It's like, okay, you can't be that desirable, you know? So I liked it well enough for what it is, but I definitely am looking forward to rereading Mistborn. I was debating on if I wanted to because I have read Mistborn fairly recently. I think I read it during like the main pandemic. I was reading one book a month and I really enjoyed it. I read it physically without the audiobook because I was not such an audiobook obsessed girly back then, but now I feel like I can't read without audiobooks. So I'm gonna actually reread the whole series via audiobook, which I'm looking forward to because Michael Kramer is the narrator for most of them, and if it's not him, it's Kate reading or them together. So looking forward to that. So I do have The Final Empire currently checked out from the library and I will be listening to that fairly soon. But first, I do need to read Feybound for the Patreon book club of Steph's because that live show is sooner than The Final Empire. So I am currently, that brings me to my current audiobook, currently listening to Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail. Let me just put my coffee down because this is just distracting. I'm gonna drop it. I am currently listening to Astrid Parker, having a pretty good time. It's not my favorite. I still think Delilah Green is amazing, but I am quite enjoying this one. I am like 35% into it at this point and hoping to get it wrapped up fairly early on this week so I can dive into Feybound, which I'm really excited about. I'm a little nervous about Feybound because I'm just going to be listening to the audiobook because I don't currently have the ebook because I have it requested from the library, but it's not coming in anytime soon that I can see. So I'm just going to listen to it and hope if I put it on a slow enough speed, I can understand what's going on. But yeah, that's basically going to be it for this vlog. I just wanted to kind of close it out, and I'm really going to try hard to make vlogs that I finish at least one book in because I don't know, I want it to be a little bit more satisfying in the end. Like, you're not just seeing me read for a weekend and I only read like, you know, let's say 100 pages or whatever. So like, it's not that satisfying because I didn't finish anything. I didn't give my final thoughts on anything. So trying to make these vlogs like at least finish one book in them. So don't know when I'm gonna do my next vlog. I know for sure I'm gonna vlog my little weekend trip coming up like around mid-February, but in the meantime, I don't know. I'm just kind of vlogging whenever I kind of feel like it. So we'll see if I just start another one. I don't know. I don't want to stress myself out because vlogging every single week was way too much for me because I had to edit them and get them out every week, and that was just too much. So we'll just see. I really don't know. Whatever happens, happens. So thank you all so very much for joining me. And if you made it this far into the video, comment some like, I don't know, circle emojis, because there are some like cool little critters. They're not critters, but you know, cool little magical things in this world called Sions that are like glowing orbs. They're really cool. So comment some like circle emojis, I guess, if you made it this far into the video, and I will see you all in another video soon. Goodbye!